All right. Whew. All right. Let's see. Running some tests on tournament decks. Jeez, hello. Use 1 through 20. No. Because some of the cards don't fit because you need to replace all the golds and stuff. I'll bring up the tournament rules in a minute. I actually wouldn't mind if some of you guys would mind playing against me with decks that are built in on that format. That would help me get some good testing in. I really want to test a couple of decks and see what ends up working out better. Plus, I assume most years would have most of the bronze and silver cards. Hey. Plus, with a prize pool like this in the tournament, I really don't want to take it too lightly. No gold and legendaries? Yeah, the tournament's no golds and no legendaries. I'll bring up the rules in a sec. I just need a sec to set it up because I'm not sitting at my desk right now because medical stuff isn't much fun and it makes it very uncomfortable. That's just for today. I'm not running the camera, I'm just lying in bed. Where's the thing? I had a window here for it. This one? This one. There we go. So these are all the tournament rules, pretty much. I'll link to them in the comment thingy. You guys can check it out. If some of you want to build decks just based on that, it would work really well for me. There we go. With only silver and gold. No, only bronze and silver. There you go. Actually bad. If I can buy one turn, I should be able to clear the line. Hey, what's up? Too long because I got school tomorrow. Ah, that's alright, man. This is gonna really suck. I mean, it's sad when my best play is to suicide my bird and clear the board. I don't got school until Wednesday. That's pretty lucky, man. I don't have school ever. I finished school bloody 2 years ago now. Let's see. Your evil deeds end now. At least I'm not dead too much here. Should be able to start pulling back. I might need to try and add more healing. Not very good testing these in Masters. It would really be better to test them against you guys. So with that link I posted to Battlefire's page, if you guys could build a few decks around that and then we can play some private matches with them decks, that would be really helpful on my end. And maybe for you guys, if any of you plan on entering. Anyone. Completely anyone. Anyone can join the tourney. You've been to college. See, this is where things get tricky because I'm from Australia, where our equivalent to your college is basically university, and university I haven't been to, no. University isn't really a major thing in Australia when it comes to schooling. Like, basically, you know, it's probably 55% of people go to university, but then only like 20% actually really do anything with it a lot of the time. Rise of the Dead to get around Prince of Catacomb ban. Oh dear. No, this tournament looks interesting. It's got a $300 prize pool, so first place I think was 125, and then second 75, and then third and fourth at 50 each. So I thought it'd be worth playing in. Plus, it fits in my time schedule, so there probably won't be a stream until later that day. But you'll be able to hopefully view the tournament, unless I get knocked out of the tournament early. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Fox is a good advantage. And I basically get as much value out of this as anything else. Bumping that up isn't really worth it. An Octo heals, so that's good. You can use Enhance, right? Enhance. Yeah, there's the only restrictions are on the cards you can use, not so much their abilities. So you've got one card for each class and one neutral card restricted to one, and then you've got 3 banned cards at this point unless something else pops up that are just too strong for this kind of format. And I'm dead. So as long as it's a bronze or silver card and it doesn't fall in the ban and you're only running one of the restricted cards per deck, you're pretty right. But yeah, anyone can enter. It's 5 PM Pacific Daylight Time, PDT. Pretty sure that's what it was. I'd have to re-bring it up for me to actually see it. Yeah. So it's just one deck, Swiss format, best of one. Each deck can only contain bronze and silvers, no golds or legendary cards are allowed. Top 8 players play off, and 20-minute match maximum. Alright then. I'd like to test these decks out, so if anyone's got one. If I'm not wrong, the tourney is this Friday, right? Yeah, Friday for America, Saturday for me. Which is quite good, I guess. No, if you look at the link that I posted earlier, on the ban list, it's actually Call of Coyotes is banned. Specifically for that reason, because a 13-13 legend is just too big. It's too hard to deal with in a lot of cases. Obviously there are ways, but in this format it just doesn't work. Vial Tempest cucked me, oh no. I've basically been messing around with the Blood and Haven. I'm trying to think on which one would probably be better. Blood seems to be more consistent at getting early damage, but can really brick hard if you come up against a Haven that has a decent board. So it's definitely interesting. Oh no, that's no good, man. I'll post a link to it again just for everyone who else who's joined and hasn't seen the link. It's finally one of the few tournaments that I actually fall into a bracket for, where I can actually enter due to time. Most of them seem to run like 4 AM my time, which most of you guys is later in the earlier in the afternoon. But no joking, Shadowverse. Oh dear. But as long as if you look at the rule stuff and you follow it all, you're pretty set. You just submit your deck to a moderator on the Discord, which there's links for all that on that page. Once you've got one. Now I gotta wait till someone comes from work. Jeez. Let's see. What's on Commander treatment? Oh. Poor Catacomb. I think they could just add it so it was a shadow cost. Like, say you make the effect, you know, cost 4 shadows to activate. That might balance it a little bit, because usually you're going to get 4 shadows out of Catacomb pretty easily with the ghosts, with the skeletons and stuff. So I think that would balance it a little bit. This should be a good way to test things if a few of you guys make different decks and sets me up to test. Probably should have saved it to banish that, but... Alright. I think Temple Defender is a good hard counter to Shadow and Blood's aggro. You wouldn't see the other game problem it does now with that. That's what I was thinking. You know, if they had a shadow cost on it, it wouldn't be as big a problem. Blaze of yours, Ruby. No, I haven't. I just never got into it. I had a few friends who were right into it, but I just never personally did. They're gonna evolve and trade now. Fuck's sake. I've drew all my bird songs. Like, who wants to draw all the bird songs? Not me, that's for sure. Okay, so probably that. Makes sense.
My friend's pretty terrifying, right? I've said my last prayer.
Alright, man. Alright. I need to come up with a way to get around that. Stormhaven, no. Well, kind of. It's a test deck that I'm trying to test out for the tournament that's coming up that I've entered. And there are a few restrictions, which means you've got to kind of build a deck around that. And I was trying to think of a decent way to implement Amulet Heal sort of style. Something that can put early pressure, but can also play well late game. Because when you're limited to silver and bronze cards, it can become difficult to build anything half decent. That trades really well. Alright, I'm starting to lean towards the fact that probably Blood might be better for me to run. Alright. Would have been nice to have, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. Fadarian mid-range sword in comparison to Modern Shadow. Oh dear. This doesn't trade great, but it's something, isn't it? Pop open that, trade with the big guy, leave 5 damage on board maybe, or maybe less once I trade that off, I guess. And then just ward. Alright, so I may be able to stabilize. X-Fighter OP. Yeah, Aggro Sword just can't keep up now with the aggressive, other aggressive decks. Not that it's bad, it's just not keeping up. Alright, let's go for that heal. Jeez, man. Okay. Alright, that should be enough to control the board now. Plus, it sucks when you can't run Decree and other things like that when you're limited by what you can play. It becomes really hard to pick and choose what you want. But I am trying to tech against aggro decks with a few cards like Lion and Ritual. Kill off those early game stuff. Like that. So the only thing left on board will be the 4/4. Dragon was revered class at the start. Seems to have shifted hard for Shadow. Kinda, yeah. Would you date a Yandere? Probably not. I'm not that bloody crazy. Alright, that was actually interesting. Alright, I'll try the Blood. Next, so if someone has one, a deck that fits that rule format that I posted earlier, that would be great. That would help me at least test it a bit. I really need a way to like auto mute this mic. That'd be really good. Okay, I'll make a blood deck. Actually that's fine then. I'll keep testing the Haven deck. You build a blood deck, bring that in. The more variety I can get, the more testing I can do, which is great and would help. That's basically how I plan on spending most of today. Testing out some tournament decks and then working on content later. And maybe just throwing in some other fun games here and there. And then tomorrow I'm not streaming, and then I'll be streaming my Wednesday, which for you guys is Tuesday anyway. As normal. And we go up to through till what? Your Thursday, my Friday? Oh, that's such a confusing thing when time zones are a pain in the ass. Okay. What rule format? The one on here. I'll post the link. Didn't take too long to go up. There we go. The rules are on that page. It's got a ban list, a restricted list, and you can't play any gold or legend cards. It's got a good prize pool, which is half the reason I'm entering. It depends on the blood deck you play. The one I built's like really aggro. Do you like reading as in books and whatnot? Yeah, I do. When I get the chance. I mean, when I sit down and read a book, usually I like to read it, you know, all the way through in a couple days. So sometimes in one day, depending on how good the book is. So I don't read a lot, but when I do, it's usually binge reading. Alright. Same 20 years, it turns out. Nothing wrong with that, man. The more competition, the better. It'll actually be the first Shadowverse tournament I've played in, which will be interesting. Plus, it'll be good to see more decks so we can test things out and work out what's best. And make small adjustments here and there based on what we're seeing come up. But let's Lancer. World of Tanks Blitz. No. Never played World of Tanks. I've looked at it, but I haven't played it. Alright. Unknown. Hopefully your deck fits towards the rules so I can get a decent game out of it. I can get some gauge.
Is fighting and despair all you know?
Alright, let's see. Nothing in my opener, that kind of sucks. Mind you, I don't have too many turn ones either, so makes sense. So I got a component pulled out 2 silver, but cost 0. Oh my god. Lucky in this tournament you don't have to worry about that. That's what makes it interesting. Plus you don't need to worry about Roach because Roach is banned, obviously banned because no gold, so definitely gonna make for an interesting format. I think Temple Defender is going to probably be the star of most Haven decks at this point. Just got such a good set. Too bad I'm not practicing the tournament long. Oh dear. Okay, that's a weird way to get to this stream. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. The only problem with stuff like that is copyright. But I try and avoid music in those kind of cases. Obviously there is copyright free stuff, but then you've got to go through all the hassle of finding it all and getting it set up. That kind of sucks.
The real battle begins.
Alright. Not a bad little setup there. Okay. This Haven deck's actually performing pretty okay. Hey, what's up? For anyone who's just joined, I'm basically testing decks for a tournament. If you guys are interested, I'm sure you can scroll through the chat a little bit and find the link to the tournament page. That or I can post it again soon, but... Let's see. Got a good setup with healing. Got a defense, which is fine. No idea. Middle of the afternoon for me, which is fun. Okay, so that pops next turn. I was watching an OTK Roach video. Oh, not a bad way. Alright, hold on to that evolve, just in case. I'm actually liking this Haven deck. It'll just be interesting to see how it performs against other builds. I'm a little bit worried about Shadow because if I brick, I could be in trouble. You're probably not the only one. Well, you can't run gold, so that kind of limits you. But even bronze and silver aggro blood is crazy. And yeah, blood gold are pretty damn strong. Oh dear. Nothing wrong with that. Forest ain't that bad. Is it free to play in? Yep, completely free. Anyone can join. And it's got a nice little prize pool of $300, so first place 125, then second is 75 I think, and then 50 for third and fourth. And it's Swiss format, which I have absolutely no clue how to play Swiss format because I haven't touched a card game like that in a long time. Alright, good game. trying to work out the strength and weakness of this deck, and I'm almost thinking maybe the candles aren't that great, but I'd probably need to test more. Playing card very late, that's not good, man. I'm probably just gonna keep running this for now. I want to get a decent amount of testing in with it. I'll play anyone pretty much. If you have a deck of different class or whatever and want to have a game, we can swap those out as we go, sort of thing. Tempo Grey. No, I haven't seen Tempo Grey. Alright, this should be interesting. I've played Tempo Grail, which Nexus did a lot of videos on, but Tempo Grey, because Grey is a card, so that would be interesting.
Is fighting and despair all you know?
To arms! There's a battle underway!
Alright, not too bad. Especially against Sword. Sword's actually probably the favourite to win this tournament because of how strong Sword usually is, but with the Assassin being banned, could be interesting.
He's feeling hungry!
Poor as hell. Oh. Don't feel ashamed, man. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Alright, man, good night. I didn't even notice you said that, so yeah. We're going to be sticking to our regular schedule for a while, so alright, that's actually a good chance to pull that. Plus, I greatly appreciate this, guys. This really does help, and I hope it helps you guys if any of you decide to enter the tournament. Being able to test decks like this is a great way to do things. I should have killed the Pompous first. That probably would have been better.
What?
No, I'm from Australia. So, that's probably the accent you're getting. The Dragon deck price of ours is around 18k. That's not too bad. Just kind of on the verge of budget.
You're done for.
Alright, let's see. We got another clear. Priests are good, but just a pain when you've only got 2 evolve points. Goes a gold card because I really seen it. You want to play that card, yeah. Oh, anything's good though, man. I can show you my blood if you want. I'm pretty good with blood. That was my primary class for a long time. Now let's get rid of those in the easiest way possible. Grey, that lesbian drag waifu? Yeah, pretty much. I guess that's how you could categorize it. When building a blood like this, I think the best blood you could probably build is aggro, just because there's so many options. The only thing you got to really cut is kind of the Vania. Because you can't run Vania being a gold, you've got to kind of work around that. But other than that, it's not too bad. We'll use that.
The real battle begins.
Blood too greedy life-wise. Oh dear. Well, a lot of them you don't really need to worry. You know, I think I run 2 cards that deal damage to myself for aggro. And that's Razor Fang because the 3 damage is amazing for finishers, and the new Spiderweb Imp. I think it's him, yeah. because that's just such a strong opener. Alright, what are we going to see here? That probably trade. I suck at Rune of Forest decks. Oh dear. Don't worry, I suck at forest decks, so that's fine. Rune I'm not too bad with. I've had a lot of practice. I'll give it a search later for sure. I can't do it right now because my other monitor's too far away. Get rid of that. Heal. Probably work from there. Oh, I played too much restore, not enough damage. I stood a full HG to hand. Die makes me sad. Yeah, that's not a good way to play that. You definitely want to focus on aggroing the damage more than anything. Well, since it's only one deck to the tournament, I'm trying to decide whether I bring Blood or Haven, or maybe even something else. That's why I'm kind of running testing right now. So because with the limitations, I think Haven works well because people are probably going to expect to bring a lot of aggro, and Haven can kind of counter that really nicely in a lot of different ways. Like, look at this. I've already limited their hand, so they're relying on draws. And when you don't have to worry about Albert and stuff, this makes it pretty easy when you're from this point. Just off the good decks. I've been using Haven a lot when it comes to ranking Shadow and Dragon, obviously, but I don't play Dragon much because I don't have a lot of the cards. I have a lot of them, just not the other half. Haven is doable still. Definitely. Haven's definitely doable. Haven is always pretty strong, and it's very anti-meta style. So I have 2 blood decks. Nothing wrong with that, man. The more variety, the more I can test. That's great. Helps me out, and for anyone else who's entering, helps them. Yeah, Sacred Plea limited, yeah. Even with it limited, it's not that bad. Like, this Haven deck's so far won every game against you guys, which is pretty good. And Sacred Plea, even just being at 1, you know, because it's only a draw mechanic card, sure, it's strong, but you can kind of focus on going defensive and board clears, and with Candle, this seems to be working okay, being able to get everything out 1 extra turn early at least. So, that's what we're testing though, so if it ends up not working out, I may end up just not playing Plea at all, or playing something else. Won't be long until I have 4. Oh dear. Goblin will carry ya? Which goblin? As long as it's not Goblin Mage, which is also banned. No, is it Goblin Mage that's banned? Yeah, no. Princess Goblin, sorry, is banned. Not Goblin Mage. Goblin Mage is fine. So many Goblin cards. Get so confused. Storm or Aegis Haven? For what? For this, it's neither. Because you can't run a lot of the cards you'd need for either of those decks for the tournament. Play Aggro Bats, Aggro Blood, Midrange Blood. Jesus. That's a lot of blood classes. Aggro Shadow, Deathly Tyrant, Shadow. Tempo Grey. That's not bad. At least you know the card in Forest that reduce your health to 0 when it goes face. Yeah. I know that. I did a whole video on that one card before it was released because everyone thought it'd be so OP, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to be overpowered. It's really not. It's too many ways to get rid of it. Feels bad to have 5/5 forward. It's too strong though for this format, for the tournament. Otherwise it would be great. And spring cleaning than I would have. I was very tempted just to meme this tournament, but since there's a decent prize pool, I kind of want to take it a little seriously so I can actually hopefully pull something off here. This will be interesting. If it's aggro, I think I can counter that. Basically what I'm testing, because I'm worried that most people are going to probably tech for aggro. So if I tech against aggro, maybe I can have an advantage, but people may go the opposite way. That's another worry. Because if people then decide to go Haven, mirror matches may not be the best for me. I have one in my all-neutral deck. Oh, it's an amazing card. That's why they end up having to ban it for this tournament. It's just too strong. There's no real counter. When that card goes faced, and if you have the amulet for Roland, it protects you lower. Really? Wow, that's pretty weird. I would love to see that interaction. Also, I play Hulking Diamond too. Recommend for you guys if you have a lot of fun. Just Temper Graze. I have a Dirt Giant deck. It's not optimized, but I haven't really spent much time with it, which is the problem. Alright, that works well. This deck's actually not too bad. Isn't banned in any way. Well, I think it's because a lot of Guardian Sun's cards are higher cost, and since we're probably going to look at mostly aggro, I don't know. I was very tempted to put Guardian Sun in, and I think if I replace Candle, that's probably what I'd replace it with. But, I don't know. I just don't feel that Guardian Sun's going to be enough. This deck is going to purely focus, I think, on board control and pulling it into the late game. That way most aggro decks will burn out before then. And obviously, you know, I'm teching in Falcons and stuff in case I do need that early damage or early clear. Plus, you know, when you're trying to run Candle, it's good to have more amulets. Take advantage. But I'm completely open to modifying decks as we go. The biggest thing people have been worried about for the tournament so far that I've noticed is probably going to be Luminous Mage. They were actually up in the air on whether they wanted to ban that as well. It's just so bloody strong. But they end up, I think, going against it. So unless something changes and they realize, oh crap, before the tournament, they may end up leaving it. Because there's just not that many commanders that could take advantage of it when you haven't got access to gold or legends, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. Wow, that's pretty good. But when you can only run one wolf in blood, that was my only worry because you don't have this extra storm. That's going to be a lot of damage. Damn it. So I get a partial board clear if I play the Lion Spirit, or I just go with Death Sentence and try and do it this way. Alright, that actually ended up working out pretty okay. Evolve that. I heard something about tournament before my table decided to die. Is it the one that Igneous did? Also, how do I know? No, it's. I'll post a link to it. It's Shadow Nexus's tournament that they're running this Friday for you guys. I'll link it right now. It should go up. It's kind of a, not so much a meme style tournament, but just a restricted tournament. So anyone can join. It's restricted in the sense that you can't play golds, you can't play legendaries, and I think there are 3 banned cards at the moment, and certain cards you can only play one of. Which they've tried to make as fair as possible, so there's only 1 card per set, so 1 neutral, 1 blood, 1 haven, 1 whatever, that is actually limited, and then there are just 3 banned cards, because they're just too overpowered. So you should be able to find that, hopefully. Actually starting to think that maybe playing Guardian isn't so bad. Follows block it from face and you still have Lightning. Yep, Lightning Blast is great. I think I'm going to try a new deck against you if you don't mind. Yeah, go for it, man. That's the whole point of this. The more decks you play, the better variants I can get. Plus, at the moment, this deck seems to be really strong, so if you can come up with a deck that beats it, you're probably going to have a lot better chance in the tournament as well. Because so far this thing hasn't lost, but this game is looking to be very, very close. But that could have made all the difference. Let's see. going to be very interesting. Hey, what's up? We're just prepping for a tournament, if you haven't seen the link. Plus, like I said, it's open to anyone, it's completely free to play, and there's a $300 prize pool, which you can all find details in that link I posted earlier.
We are the chosen ones. I'm just getting warmed up.
Gave us a shit ton of broken cards. Oh, it's got a few that are pretty OP. I'm currently not running the face cam just because I'm laying in a bed right now and not sitting at my desk like I normally do, and I've got my screens turned different directions and stuff. Because some of the medical stuff I had to have done every couple of days at this point. So it's a little hard just to sit down for a longer period of time, so I decided I'd lay down today just to make it easier on myself. And it might be like that for the next, couple of streams. Just gotta wait and see. Anyone have an alternate version of Quick Blader? Yep, I have it. I have all the alt cards that they got out so far, except for the pre-built deck ones, just because I haven't bought them all because they're too expensive. Oh, this is not good. You may actually beat me here. Now that I'm top decking. Yep, there we go. Interesting. Trying to think what my options would be to actually come back off this, and I don't think there is any. Like, I mean, Pony would work, and since you can't run Decree, that won't work against it. That's such a good way to draw cards. The only way would be if you dealt 4 damage to yourself, but yeah, Wardrobe Raid is going to make that difference. Good game. It's very interesting. Now I have to find a way to tech against blood a little bit more. Definitely helps to know that doing that wasn't going to be as successful as I thought it was going to be. I'm trying to think what could have probably helped me a bit there. Maybe the octopus, maybe the extra death sentence. Definitely interesting. Where did you all start? I just started playing because I was bored with Hearthstone and I was on Steam and I found this and I was like, oh, let's just play this. And then I got really into it. Especially since I started playing it right around when it first came out for Steam. So, it's pretty early. Oh, for sure, Aegis is better than Candle Deck. But this deck is for the tournament, which has certain restrictions, so you can't play Aegis. I played because Yu-Gi-Oh! Died for me. I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! About, 4 years ago now? After Pendulum started being released. I kept up to date with stuff, but it's just getting ridiculous, so I stopped playing it. Borneo good? I have no clue. That's alright, man. The more the merrier. The more I can test out what's good and, get more of a sample size for what may be played, the better. And Deathstone will work for me. Oh, I suppose that's one way to look at it. Suppose that's one way to do it. I don't really have any need to look for anything. I actually have nearly every bronze and silver card, but like I said, I have been playing for a long time now, so you eventually do acquire all of those. Like, one of the guys I know has every single card in the game and is only really looking for animates now. Well, a couple of guys I know, and they're crazy. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There's nothing they can't build. Like, as soon as the new set dropped, they opened so many packs and had every single card, and I'm like, you gotta be joking. Iron Gene Stone, you mean? Yeah, well. So I think blood is going to be a problem.
I've said my last prayer.
But I went YOLO for this expansion. I suppose that's one way to do it. Oh, a couple of them aren't even rich though. It's just they have some either crazy luck, they've stocked up on gold enough and been playing long enough that it didn't matter. Or yeah, they just, you know, spent whatever extra cash they had to buy their way up. I wouldn't diss Hearthstone too hard. Like I played it for what, 3 years, maybe more. And sure, yeah, it has its flaws. Definitely has big problems. The RNG was really bad. I haven't played much since the new expansion dropped. I played like one day for a little bit. They're definitely trying to make it better, which is good to see. This is a code for... Fine, I'll just leave it. It's completely up to you, man, if you want to post it or not. Spent like $60 on Hearthstone. Glad I didn't spend any more. Yeah, about the same as what I spent. Like, I played Hearthstone before their first adventure, before Naxxramas. I only spent $30 on that, and I think in total I ended up spending another $30 later on. I think I've spent about $30 on this so far. Yeah, question mark. Yeah, okay. I spent over $200 on World Tanks Blitz. Wow, man. That's a lot. That's like, what, 2 AAA games right there for me. And like 4 AAA games for you guys. Nearly. Was the adventure? Yeah, same here. The adventures were actually really quite enjoyable. It's just everything else kind of sucked. Alright, so hopefully I should be now playing from an advantage. So I know what to expect from Forest, especially when they're not able to play Tia, Wolf, Silverbolt, Roach. I just don't know what else Roach can, Forest could play in this kind of style. I just don't think it's going to have enough to keep up with other decks that have half-decent bronze and silvers. Because Forest does rely a lot on its gold and legends for games. And Hearthstone was so, was like good. Oh dear. That's good to hear though. At least they are heading in the right direction. The only thing that kind of annoys me is they keep adding new mechanics. Like new keywords, you know, like quest for example. And sure, they didn't put too much focus on it, but I mean, they're going to end up with so many bloody things that's going to be a pain. Like, I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And things like that, and, you know, they have set amounts of keywords and stuff, and they slowly roll out more here and there, but not in such the way Hearthstone does. It's crazy. I'll get rid of that. What site you shorten links on? I use Bitly normally. But you can also use Google's auto link shortener. If you just search short URL or whatever into Google, you'll get a bunch of the first like results being good sites for that. Anyone here play Magic the Gathering at least once? Yeah. My girlfriend was like right into Magic for a while, and she has a heap of older cards. And I've played a little bit of Magic since I was playing card games. Not as much as a lot of other people, but played a bit. We get rid of that, and what does that do? The 2 fairies. I'm not too worried about that. Might save that. This tournament should definitely be interesting, and Shadow Nexus will be streaming it, so if any of you guys actually want to go watch that, make sure to follow the Shadow Nexus, and it'll be this Friday, 5 PM PDT. Hopefully, if I make it into the top... I think it's... Are they streaming... I think they're streaming the top 8. So if I make it into the top 8, I'll make sure to let all you guys know on Twitter and wherever. So that hopefully you guys can come watch me. Not that I will probably make it into that, but it'll be interesting. It'll be the first tournament I've actually played in. Okay, so this has just got a little bit more painful to do. Probably play that. I mean, it defends really nicely. I only have smartphone and I can't play Magic on it. Feels bad. Oh, that sucks. Has written a whole Bible in one single card. Yeah, that does happen. Yu-Gi-Oh likes to make sure that there's not too much margin for error in effects. The only problem you're going to have with most of the time is timing, which sucks, but for the most part, at least they're clear. More tournaments you enter, the better a player it will make you be. Yeah, that's the idea. Because I think I've got ranked pretty much down for the most part when it comes to how to play ranked. And I want to expand and become a more well-rounded player, so hopefully playing tournaments, even if I'm just starting with, you know, these kind of tournaments that aren't too serious, then this should be good. It's a scene I'd love to move in on, for sure. Oh, I've got game anyway. Good game. I didn't even look to see if I had game, I just thought about clearing that board first. Yeah, so I don't think Forest is going to be a big threat this tournament. Not unless something crazy comes out. It's got them called Link Monsters. Now, yeah, I've seen those. I've read the explanation for them. It's a good step in the right direction, though. Xyz and Synchros and everything were getting out of control with how quickly they could swarm the board. Like, I used to play... I played a Vial on Synchron deck for a while. And ended up with, you know, like... a couple hundred... Well, not a couple hundred. I could OTK in turn 2 or 3 with a 1-card setup, which was pretty crazy. The only problem is it took forever to have your turn because you had to, you know, cycle so many cards from your deck into your hand and pop them off in the right order from your spell and trap card zone to gain cards back so you could replay them and stuff. Try and find a spot to put Olivia in a deck because she's always good. Olivia is pretty good, but there's definitely reasons not to run her. I'll keep that. I tried out this card. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels, and the first card that I read got me a headache. Wow, really? Duels is like the most basic of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really? They slimmed it down to make it like a super quick game, and then they've really limited what cards to release, like, which makes sense. They want to kind of start from scratch so they can build up on it eventually, but I played a bit of Duel Links. I made it to like level 40 or something before I just kind of was like, I'm not that interested in this. If I wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I'd just play normal Yu-Gi-Oh. Finish tweaking this new deck if you want to give it a shot after this game. Sure. Duels with Shadowverse, yeah. I might have to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels on stream at some point. It'd definitely be a fun thing to try. Get Candle out where I can. I don't see, like, unless I brick my hand like I kind of have now, I don't think Forest is going to be too big a threat. Its swarming potential is a problem, but Haven has enough counters that it shouldn't be an issue. 5Ds, yeah, same here. I really did enjoy 5Ds. I didn't go too much on Zexal, and the not the newest one coming out, V-Rains, but the other one actually looks okay. Well, it was okay. I watched the most half of it with the pendulums. The storyline was half decent, especially once you got past the first like 20 or so episodes. No, it's a mobile game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. Or do you mean something different? Because if yes, no, I just look like a retard. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is what it's called, and yeah, I've played it a fair bit. It's basically a slimmed down Yu-Gi-Oh! Can I post links? The bit one. In Twitch chat. In Twitch chat, no. In YouTube chat, you should have access to post links, I think. I'm not sure how I've got it set up at this point. Twitch chat only limits to mods, and currently I can't access those. If you want to send me anything, I recommend sending them straight through Twitter. That's going to be a lot easier to access. In Arc V, the monsters actually have mass. Yeah, Arc V, that was it. I was trying to remember what it was called. Arc V, I actually kind of enjoyed. I think the storyline was there, which is what they needed. You go Duel Links, I've stopped playing after losing my account. Jeez, man, that kind of sucks. I think we'll go Radiant. I don't have access. Yeah, okay, so that's a problem. I don't have Twitter. Jeez. Well, I don't know what to do at the moment. None of my mods are actually here, which is kind of a problem. You're probably just better off posting a deck code. And then I can kind of grab it that way. Because I only have access to one monitor at the moment. The other monitor's all the way on the other side of my desk. From where I'm sitting at the, well, laying at the moment because of the whole medical stuff, which isn't much fun. What do we get rid of here? Alright, so we double down, hope we hit the ward. Perfect. And we just try and set up. Okay. Alright. Need to be able to grab that. I'll just have to copy it. Cool. I'll load that up next and take a look at it for sure.
I've said my last prayer.
Because that blood deck was pretty good. I don't know how well my blood deck will perform, and they're probably very similar. Deck has no idea what sort of deck I'm being made though. But I just have a couple more win more cards. Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. I think Shadow will be best. It's a very fucking awesome late game and can get early board presence to survive the early game. Maybe, but when you're limited by not having any golds or any legendaries, Shadow can really fall off. The only really late game card they've got is Kawi as a decent finisher for this tournament. Other than that, they don't have too much in the way of finishes. Alright, hopefully I can set that up for my next turn. End up falling asleep on stream. No, I won't fall asleep on stream. For me, it's only like 12 PM. Wait, actually, it's probably closer to 1 now. Yeah, it's 1 PM for me. I won't be falling asleep. I yawn occasionally, but that's only because I usually don't sleep very well, and I usually get up about 10, which is a couple hours before I stream. But I was up a lot earlier than that this morning due to other stuff. If you had respected more energy, you would have run probably. I've ate to keep myself alive, yeah. It's just a matter of working stuff out. That's what these games are for. If one Shadowverse card came to life, which card will it be? I really hope that it's Prince of Darkness because he's just amazing. God, relying so much on board control is becoming a problem. Be nice if you could run Grail, but no golds. Damn. If you have fallen asleep from not sleeping for a couple of days during yesterday's stream. Oh dear. You might have fallen asleep. Wow. Which card? Ding dong da. Oh wow. If you follow on Twitch, I have a ding dong thing that goes off. Pretty great. I wonder if there's another way I can add more draw to this deck without interfering with it too much. The only two things I can think of is maybe Mosaic, because that's not a bad draw. And the only other one would be Hollow Dogma. But if I run Hollow Dogma, then I've got to find something to cut, and that becomes more difficult. Bellringer Angel's single most overrated card in this game. Bellringer Angel is adorable. Don't pick on Bellringer Angel. Or you'll have me to deal with. I want to save that. Rise of the Dead, Horus, Undead Knight, Zombie Party, should I count? That's still not enough. It really isn't. I was running a Shadow deck earlier before I started streaming, and the consistency just isn't there, especially when you can only have one Prince of Catacomb. You ran into the same problem as to why it wasn't that strong before. Like, sure, Orcus is good, but no good if you don't have a board. So, and Rise of the Dead is valid. I can see that being quite strong. Zombie Party works. Undead King is not so great, and Soul Grinder is okay. The only decent ones there really are Zombie Party and Rise of the Dead for this kind of tournament.
Open your eyes.
This kind of sucks, but meh. But the 468 ding dong. Oh dear. You definitely make valid with some of those cards, but I think like most of them aren't as good when you don't have other things to combo them with. Like, sure, they'd work great in a normal deck.
The Lord wills it.
Yeah, I think Zombie Party's great, but you're probably gonna see more aggro, which is the problem. Because Zombie Party doesn't set up like Death Breath does. Hey, thanks for the follow. Getting those ding dongs out. Good. I want to play Octopus. Because I like octopuses. There it is, long, yeah. I wish I could set the same sort of thing up for YouTube, but YouTube's a lot more of a pain in the ass to do that kind of thing for. I also have a like really cute dragon lolly one for my donation sound. Wink wink. Make Bahamut real so he can destroy the entire world for us. That would be pretty cool. I mean, if we're gonna die, at least die to Bahamut. I actually think I have a command on Twitch for Bahamut for Fire Spartan, which is more Bahamut, because he loves Bahamut so much. All right, this is actually a really close game. This fairy deck's actually not doing as bad as I thought. That or my draws have just been shocking, one or the other.
You're here.
Zombie Party synergize with Death Breath, but that doesn't matter right now. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Zombie Party synergizes really well with Death Breath, but you can't run Death Breath in this tournament, so that kind of ends up being a problem. Talking about Dragon Ute. Why are we talking about what? Where does Dragon Ute come from? Oh, he's talking about... I'd rather die to loose, fuck off. True, Shadow unfortunately has the Carrot Bitch, which can produce more shadows than the cards like Ocarus. Guess I'll be able to activate fairly easily with Soul Grinder. A good wall. Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad at all, like, that's not the case. It's just in this style of tournament, I don't think they're going to have enough to keep up. That's the only problem. No, it's not that bad. The more details you can give, the easier it is to make a discussion out of it, which is good. Like, all of those are great. The only problem is I think the other classes are going to outclass it. That's all. Like, I don't think Shadow's going to be bad. It's just not going to be enough. Life, Wrath, I'll do win things for us. I think killing that's plenty. Beast Calls can work really nice if I just Candle Prayer every turn. Plugging close to tournament, 20-minute time. Yeah, that I'm kind of worried about, actually. Because if neither player makes the time limit, I think the game's just over. Kind of sucks. Which is what people are probably going to prioritize aggro decks for.
First things first. Shoot.
Forest and Rune will be played? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I think I have to try and be a bit more aggressive with things. Forest will. I don't know. Like, sure, Forest is doing well now, but it's still on the back foot at the moment. And when you're not running any of the other decent cards, it becomes difficult. That's not bad, though. The only problem is my Beast Call activates next turn.
I've said my last prayer.
And then I just pretty much kill off what they've got left. Actually, without a ward, this might actually be more difficult. Set up another one for next turn. Because if they don't kill it, I'm going to get 8 damage plus 2. That's 10. Which is plenty. And then if they clear the board the next turn, I can just Candelabra Beast Aria for game. It's too low for stats. Yeah, that's the problem. They can work in certain situations, but you got to have a really nice hand. Like Arena used to be in Hearthstone. Yeah. I just don't think Forest has the stats there when they don't have their golds or legends. Hell, I think I'll get rid of that. Oops, hold on. There we go. Let's set that up. Tempergrave versus any Forest deck group Forest, poor fairies. What about Dragon? Inferno Dragon's not bad. I haven't played against Dragon yet, so that's the one I'm interested in. I haven't really looked into Dragon. That's the one class I don't really know about. I messed around with Shadow, messed around with Blood, messed around with Haven. Like, as those 3. And now that you guys have been helping me, I've played against Forest, Blood, Shadow, Sword. So I'm starting to learn some of the decent matchups. Well, it doesn't cover much removal. On each store, there's a Shadow player who plays Ghost of Gas and just... Yeah, but the problem is it's the tournament. Like, that kind of tournament is fine, but they don't have the same restrictions. Like, Shadow works really well when you have golds and legendaries and you aren't limited by certain things. Shadow was a joke, though. Probably. But anything can perform well if you get lucky. That's the problem. Like, people be like, oh, but this situation. And it's like, yeah, but the problem with that kind of situation is it's extremely rare. And yeah, I've definitely pushed that 20 minutes. This isn't going to be a great way to do this. If I come up against a deck like this and draw like this, I'm definitely not going to be able to push out that 20 minutes. I might have to actually look and see what it says. Each match has a time limit of 20 minutes. So how do they determine winner based on that then? You have exactly 10 minutes to make a match. See, that doesn't clearly state what happens if that's the case. I might have to ask about that later. Find out. Alright, we'll get what's name in here. Good deck, because I know one thing that Dragon will just play, and that's Pendant. Yeah, but Pendant is limited to 1. So, such a good deck. Just that 20-minute thing, that's the problem. I need to look at that other deck after.
Is fighting and despair all you know?
Prepare for defeat.
Lost HP at the end of the time. Yeah, but then you run into the same problem as a lot of other card games. Like, what if you can clearly have the board advantage and your hand advantage? Then how do they decide that? Because you could clearly have won the game even with a lower health total. For example, that last game I just played, they had a higher health most of the time, but I had the stronger board presence. So they kind of would have to look at everything, I think. But I'm going to ask and find out, and they'll soon tell me. I played 20-turn games, which 15 minutes. Yeah. I just feel like that game was going to be pushing it. 20 minutes is a great time frame. It's just a matter of what do you do if you do go over.
That was me time.
So you're re-prepared. I'm pretty sure you've all seen your shit. Like, yeah, that can happen. There's nothing wrong with being prepared, but you've got to look at more like the negative and pro side of it. Like, if I'm gonna lose because of luck, I'm gonna lose versus anything. That's regardless. If something gets a way better draw and I just happen to have a worse draw, there's nothing I can really do about it. But if I happen to, you know, if I go in assuming that Shadow's going to have the perfect draw and I try and play around that, then I'm probably going to put myself on the losing anyway. So I've got to assume they have an average draw. Because if it's perfect, there's nothing I can do. I'll make a deck and test with you, Dragus. Sure, go for it. As long as it fits those rules for the tournament, that's fine. Which I will link to again for anyone who hasn't seen it so far. That's a problem. I'll be alright, man. And thanks for the follow. I'm not sure who that was, but I'm sorry I missed it. I missed it coming up. Alright, I'll go over most of these deck codes later and take a look at most of the stuff later as well. Alright. I wouldn't be too worried. I like discussing things, it's fun. Hey, good to see ya. It's great when people come over to my streams, it's fun. I'm currently testing for a tournament I plan on entering on Friday. What's the time now? I've been up 1 hour 11 minutes, so probably another 50 or so minutes. Usually go about 2 hours. But we'll probably be doing similar stuff for my Wednesday and Friday, which for you guys is Tuesday, Thursday. My stream schedule. I was a little worried about that card. It looks like it might be fine. I mean, I can counter it pretty hard.
Your evil deeds end now.
You are done for.
I see your weakness.
I don't like my streams to be too long. It's kind of just a fun way to interact with you guys. Been up 1 hour 11 minutes. Yeah. That's what my thingy says over on OBS.
What in the...
Just gotta get this deck to work. I've been up 18 hours. Jeez, man. Oh, not what I thought. Yeah, no, I was talking about the stream time. I've only been up, actually. I've been up since 8 AM, which is what? 5, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 hours now. It's not very long, I know. But I usually go to bed about 3, which is like 12 more hours away. So that's, what, 17 hours I'm usually up a day. Get about 5 hours sleep. Sometimes a bit more, depending. Brazil, it's already 12:30 AM, yeah. Well, I'm Australia, which, you know, makes it 1 PM. Right when you can. Oh, it's fine if you just sub, because I stream to both YouTube and to the what's it called? I stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so you can check it out on either.
The real battle begins.
So either way is fine.
Such merciless but
The only difference will be if I end up being partnered with Twitch, I won't be able to stream on YouTube anymore. Which in that case, most of you guys would probably have to then move over to Twitch as a primary viewing area. Does Australia only have one time zone? Kind of, not really, I guess. Because Western Australia is about, I think, 3 hours behind, I think.
Let's defile the battlefield.
And it changes differently. I think there's a couple of time zones. But most of Australia falls under Australian Eastern Standard Time. And that only changes if Daylight Savings is active, because Queensland's a pain in the ass and they won't go Daylight Savings. But that's a whole separate issue. If I do get partnered, then I'll go over there. Ignis. See, Ignis is fun. It's actually really funny because Ignis and I started video content for Shadowverse almost at the exact same time, and he just happened to take off before I did. I was like, damn it.
This is my home. You are my food.
Oh dear. I've actually been walled out pretty hard here, so blood is going to be a problem by the looks of it. I should have killed the 1-4, that was a mistake. Oh dear, I suppose that's one way to look at it. We just have different styles of doing things, and I find that completely fine. I have nothing against him, like, at all.
Demonic armor lovely.
Like, I don't view him as, like, competition or anything. Like, anyone who's contributing to the Shadowverse community is fine. 500 3 days, only opening packs, some packs. Wow.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, see, I'm in a bad spot here.
Obey heaven's word.
I obey the Lord's will.
Obey heaven's word.
I probably should have kept an evolve so I had something to try and clear. I need to find a way around blood. At this rate, it looks like I may actually take blood to the tournament myself.
Shed tears of joy, I've arrived.
Can I join with Satan? Good, just fine. That's no good to me.
King. No!
Satan being a legendary doesn't help. Yeah, that's game. Good game, man.
I have lost.
Not much I can do against that. Alright, I might actually test a blood deck. I'm just debating on whether to go full aggro with my blood or whether to go something similar to what he was just playing. I think maybe removing the octopuses and putting something else in might be better. For sure. I just wanted to give them a test. I just wanted to play a Lamb Bahamut deck. Turns out it worked pretty well. Oh dear. Alright, I'm gonna try this. If I redesign this game, clearly more skill. Oh dear. If you can get in, you can enter pretty much. I kind of do it on a first serve, first come basis. So you got to get a little bit lucky.
Time to get started.
Bow before Dark Dragoon, ruler of the skies.
That is pretty good advice, honestly, if you're looking for legendaries. The only problem with that advice is the new set has better legendaries, a lot better legendaries. And when you're disenchanting a legendary for only 1,000 vials, which is what the equivalent of not that great, it's like fine if you need the legendaries from other sets, but it's not great if you need newer ones. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying standard at all. Yeah, it's gonna be a catch later. All right, man. See ya. We're going for a little bit more. Yeah, new expansion only has that chance of legends. Yeah, it is quite low. Kind of sucks.
This is my home. You are my food.
Well, that wasn't listed very well considering the last one. Octopus ship has been crushing it against Arrow, getting the nice trades. Yeah, that could work quite well in that kind of build. If I decide to go with Guardian Sun, I might keep him in. I've got to make adjustments and work stuff out as we go. I don't want to use that. Fuck's sake. I do get the priority when it comes to the evolve, so I might be fine playing this way. Silver question mark? I'm confused.
Snacks check.
Yeah, no guys. Alright. Best Vial is silver for value. Oh, for value, yeah. I would say for value it probably is.
The sky betrayed me.
Alright, this way I avoid getting killed straight away.
Should I suffocate? Juicy.
And that means I can prioritize night. Because silver for its craft is only what? You get 50 for disenchant and you get 200 to craft, so it's a 1 to 4 ratio.
More where that came from.
But the silvers are a lot easier to get, so you end up with more for more value, I guess. When you can only run one DOD, one Blood Wolf, and I happen to end up with both of them, which is quite good. That's annoying.
Let's defile the battlefield.
But with this, I should be able to make a big enough push.
War is so I love the
Okay, so 1 damage off. Oh no, sorry, I forgot about the heals, so that actually puts me a little bit more behind. Sounds so creepy. Yeah, I know. It really does, doesn't it?
Snacks check. Harness.
Huh.
Ready to witness my true strength?
Ow. Ooh, I lost.
Not bad, man. That was actually really interesting. I didn't end up with the best aggro start, but still, that was a very interesting way to do that. Wonder if I would have had better luck with the other one. Silver, then gold. Then legendary at 7 to 2. Bronze at 5 to 1. I'm pretty sure silver disenchant thing. I'm gonna have to go to that thing anyway. I want to edit the decks, but I'll take a look for a sec. Because bronze for bloody liquefaction and it doesn't tell me credit cards. That'll help. Maybe no. Really? Like it won't let you do it unless you go here. How annoying is that? Bronze are what? A liquefy 10. So that's 1 to 5. Silver's a 4 to 1. Sorry, 4 to 1 ratio. So 4 cost. That's 5 to 1. Golds are 3 something to 1. And I'll just jump to legendary because that's going to save me time. Legendaries are about 3.5 to 1 ratio, isn't it? Yep. So golds and legends at about the same kind of range. Silvers are 4 to 1 and bronze at 5 to 1. Alright. Oh dear. Oh, that's alright, man. What do we want? I want to edit this deck. Trying to think of a way around this. I think if I drop Candle and go for Guardian. Let's think. What decent followers are there? Oh, where'd the followers there? Oh, my deck code changed that. That's alright, man. Aaron, can you make a video playing Tempo Grey? I'd love to see you play it. If I have the cards for it, I will. For sure. Most of the things that I have problems with is with the matter of having all the cards. Okay, so I need to find a card that's actually got a decent stat total. Most of my summons are all defensive anyway. Might up Octo to 3 if we go this way and drop maybe drop the Foxes down to 2, or maybe try and completely phase them out and put something else in, like this thing maybe instead. An automatic ward and the boost it gets is great, so then everything else will get ward anyway. Oh dear. For sure. I can definitely see it being good. I actually think this might actually be fine. Or refine it down to that. There's nothing wrong with having a discussion and looking at stuff like that. And I think, yeah, Dragon, if it performs the way that Dragon did, will definitely be good. It's just a matter of having enough variation to see decent testing. Plus, I'm sure most of you guys, by the time, 2 days from now when I stream next, I'm sure you guys will have different decks and reformed and made better, probably. I'm playing Sony for a while. At its protection against board clears, it's got like Sonya. I'm trying to think what Sonya is. Isn't that the heal 2 to everything? I just don't think we're going to see that many board clears. That's all. They really should have 2. There. Yeah, well, I think I've only got 1 Olivia, so I'll have to definitely look into that. Hopefully this guy has a deck that fits that, which I'm pretty sure he does, so I'll be fine. Majority of cards in the deck are silver cards. You should already have them. Yeah, if they're all silver, yeah, I'll have majority. That's no worry. It's just the golds and legends that I tend to have trouble with in certain cases. Tablet live. Oh dear, I know that feeling, man. Things begin to die on you. I'm definitely thinking of taking Haven. I was very tempted to take Blood. Is anyone a doctor here? Oh my god. No deck doctor either? Oh no. It's like, need to find a charge or stat.
Is fighting and despair all you know?
Time for me to prove myself.
Alright. The only problem I think I'm going to have now that I've dropped Candle is that the Forbidden Rituals and Death aren't going to be quite as powerful. Because I can't just play them as spells. They have to be played as an amulet and just wait them out. It still could work. But I think the bishops are going to be a lot stronger. Look at her expression.
May the forest be at peace.
I might be able to add in the amulet drawer if I drop the rituals and stuff, but then I feel like I'm going to be short on board clears maybe. I just have to work on adjusting a deck and see how it goes.
No disruption.
Let's see if I can slow down their plays here.
My king.
That's actually really nice. Alright. But it's all trial and error, I guess. Eventually we'll find something that kind of clicks. I'm a little worried about the timer thing, and I may have to start recording game times just to see how long some of these take. But I don't feel like they're really going to take that long. I really want to play Octo. But I feel like getting this out is probably more value. That value, yeah. Can't go wrong with that. An 8-8, fuck's sake. Plus the evolve, making it 10.
Sad? Not at all.
Oh, this kind of sucks. No really way I could have got rid of that, so I'm going to take 10 damage. Jesus. That is a little bit of a worry, that card. Could definitely see that being quite strong in Forest. That really does interest me. I just didn't expect something like that.
It won't be long now. Guide me.
And now they're probably going to flood the board, meaning that my death isn't going to hit what it needs to hit.
Hey, let's play.
Very good way to do that.
Let's play. Hey, let's play.
Could have sacked the octopus. Wouldn't have been enough damage. Like sacking it and then Black Inscripture. It would have just been way too big a loss, I think. But then I'm going to lose about the same now, so it really doesn't help me, does it? Evolve on that, trade, Black Inscripture, heal for 3. Set up on the board. Because I was planning to do it that way from the start, but I didn't want to lose the octopus. At least this way kind of has to trade into it, and then I can hopefully use that. Not that broken. 10 out of 10 isn't that broken? I think it's pretty broken in this kind of setup. When you're playing this way, it's kind of broken. It's more situational. I don't know. Anything that can get really high stats in this format is going to be quite strong. Especially when there's no really hard removal. Unless you're running executions.
Your evil deeds end now.
The real battle begins.
I actually think I might have to replace a couple of those death cards with executions instead. That'll probably be better. It's actually very interesting. So basically this deck prioritizes running as many cards as possible that give you stuff so you can summon more stuff. I suppose that could have been one way to go about it, but then I wouldn't have had the priest used the way I wanted to use it anyway. Radiant. No, I've got that. I think I just leave them for now. Druid's gonna be a problem anyway.
May I ask your name?
Aegis can't be played in this tournament, so it's really not an argument for that. Like, of course, Aegis is better than that when you're looking at playing every single card, but when you can't play legendaries and golds and you're only playing bronze and silvers, a card that can go to 10-10 is quite overpowered. Now I'm actually going to be heavily limited. Great.
Let us conclude.
At least my trades get a little bit better here.
I obey the Lord's will.
And Aegis isn't really broken if you know what you're fucking doing either. Like, you can easily play around it. If you're playing a heavy aggro deck, if you're playing a heavy ward deck, there are direct counters to it. That's why Shadow is, like, so good against it. It just dominates it before you can even drop Aegis. And I've played hundreds of games using Aegis. It definitely has its weaknesses.
I've said my last prayer.
If you want to see really broken cards, you got to really look at things like Catacomb. I've played a fair bit of that, and that is definitely broken.
You like the cold?
Let me ease your pain.
Way to go from here. 7-5 trade. Heal up with Curate again. Work from there.
Save these pitiful lambs.
You like the cold?
I just don't have enough late game big drops. That's gonna be the problem, I think.
Forest to be at peace.
That's a problem. I'm actually very interested in this forest deck. This may be a huge game changer.
Let them rest in peace.
Because I'm assuming they have one more big guy left, which could be a huge problem. Yeah, there's a forest. That's big as well. So fuck G-Shift because rapes control. Yeah, but it's not relevant for this, unfortunately. Tablet is alive. Oh dear.
I obey the Lord's will.
This is a really shitty way to have to try and do this.
Please.
But either way, that's going to kill me off, so...
May I ask your name?
Yeah, I'm very interested in this forest deck. This forest deck is actually really interesting. I'm actually surprised that forest had this many good cards like that, because you usually don't see them played. So I actually might be interested in this deck.
The forest is crying for help.
I'm actually pretty sure I'm going to lose. Don't have enough clears with Haven to keep up with these wards and these big drops that the forest player has for this, so that's actually really interesting.
May the forest.
I think maybe its biggest weakness might be a really heavy aggro, but even then, those big drops are just such a pain to get around. Yeah, so there's not much left for me here. If they can get around this 3-2, sorry, to deal 1 damage, or have anything in hand that can deal 1 damage, I'm pretty screwed. Definitely interesting.
Thanks.
There you go, Transformers follower. I'd be very interested in this deck if you want to hand out the deck code. Oops, deck code for it. Actually very interested in that. Don't think this is going to function as well as I want it to. The only thing I've seen so far is just complaining about how broken it is. I would say Argus fits in what they wanted for balance. The game's meant to end turn 9, turn 10 anyway, and Argus can't be brought out any earlier than turn 9. He's a win condition, no different to most other win conditions. And with enough wards or heavy aggro, you're going to beat Argus almost every time. It's no different to how Dragon and Shadow are functioning at the moment. Like, Shadow has such an early aggro game that you can't do anything against it. And Dragon can ramp to 10 almost instantly. So, got to look at it from that point of view. I'm actually very interested in those forest cards. So if you do have that forest list and you're willing to share it, I'm definitely willing to check it out. If you want to review a few decks here. Yeah, I'm planning on taking a look at stuff. If you guys have deck lists for some of them, I'll definitely take a look. Any spell legendary cards in the future? I have no clue. That would be an interesting concept. I know they plan on rotating cards out eventually. That was in an interview they did. They plan on like rotating sets or something in the future. Definitely interested in that deck. Thing's just so strong when you build it that way. Because T-Shift is such an unfair card and it's just a gold. Yeah, but the thing, people look at them and they go, wow, you know, that's overpowered. Overpowered, you've really got to look at as what gives you the most value in the early game more so. Late game, you can counter with aggro 90% of the time. Like D-Shift, if you're playing Shadow against D-Shift, you're going to pretty much win that matchup nearly every time. It's very rare that you'll ever lose. Hype when they add a spillage color. I'm definitely going to have to try building it. I just don't know where to start. Oops. No worries, man. If you have that deck code and you're willing to share it, like, I'm completely fine if you want to keep it to yourself, but I'd be very interested in that deck. See, I thought about Dark Air Jammer. Then I also thought maybe it wouldn't be enough, but I think with this style of deck, it probably would be. This actually looks really nice. Don't know about the extra evolve points though. And no Blood Wolf. I know you can only run 1 Blood Wolf, but I think that extra 2 damage might be worth it. Definitely interested in that. Oops. I accidentally hit that. I don't care. Fine. Alrighty, guys. Oh yeah, test strength works great against Argus, except for the fact that it's not so much giving Argus ward completely as it affects everything. So it's just kind of acts as a ward. Oh, I'm gonna run out of space for most of these decks. That's where I'm gonna run into trouble, I think. BC. I'll take a look at this while I'm at it. Ah, fuck's sake, because of the fucking caps lock, wasn't it? 7 DBC. No, that's not working, apparently. Doesn't like that at all. Decks take advantage of losing. It seems to work pretty well, honestly, that blood. Oh dear. But like, I've ran this AEST deck through hundreds and hundreds of games. It sits at about a 55% win rate, roughly. And it works really well. Like, it's definitely strong. I would say it's definitely top 3 to 4 decks. But it's not as overpowered as something like Shadows become with Catacomb. And what Dragons, like my Dragons deck's fucking shocking, but I mean, like, with the amount of ramp Dragon now has, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, the deck code said it's invalid, it wasn't working. I don't know why that is, but see? But no, this deck's definitely interesting. Yeah, that's what I think's interesting. The Devil of Vengeance here maybe could easily replace it, but DBDCR, that's why. They're on their way. Not if you've got wards. That didn't work either. Doesn't like your deck though, man. But the factor you're not looking at is if you beat your opponent before turn 8 or 9, you've instantly won against Argus. It's regardless. And that is nearly every single aggro deck can do that. It's very rare that you will lose. And you beat Argus if you're playing a really heavy ward deck. And you can just ward the board completely. And you just wait out Test of Strength, which I've done on multiple occasions. And if you're playing the Argus mirror match, your Argus is unaffected by Test of Strength, meaning you can hit face just as easy as they are. So if you are going first and play Argus first, you win. So once you take all factors into account, Argus does have its weaknesses. Then Argus wins, because that's what Argus is for. It's a control deck that beats out other control decks really well. It's no different to any other deck having weaknesses. Control decks are weak to Argus decks. Argus decks are weak to aggro decks. You know, that's kind of how it works. And if you're playing a control deck, you can add a heap of wards and beat out Argus. Or just have them at such a low life total that their Argus doesn't matter by that point. Yeah. Every deck has a weakness. Just because one deck type gets beat by Argus, like, all the time, doesn't make Argus OP. It just means you're not playing the right thing to counter it. That comes down to being a good player and picking a good matchup a lot of the time. Alright, let's try that one. There we go. Yeah, so I'm missing all the greys because I don't have any of them, and I'm missing Olivia. Which is what? A lot of cost. Everything else I actually have. Which kind of sucks. I definitely see how this would work. Pretty standard overall. I mean, the only new card in this deck is, yeah, Wrath. Everything else is ROB or earlier. Soul Dominator as my win verse, I guess. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That's it. Every deck has a natural counter, no matter how you look at it. The only problem at the moment is that Shadow doesn't have a really heavy counter. Haven's a good counter, but it still can be beat out super early if you're not careful. That's definitely going to be interesting. I actually want to try that blood. Every deck has a way to beat it. It's regardless. It's just a matter of how many ways can beat it. And when I look at it, Aegis just has way more weaknesses than something like Aggro Shadow at the moment. Aegis actually has more weaknesses than Ramp Dragon and Storm Dragon even. Like, as a deck, that is, not just as a card. Obviously, Argus is undestroyable. But Crygames isn't interested in the game ending super early. They want it to end turn 9, turn 10. Swapping out Devil of Vengeance and Crazy X is a lot easier to play with. I'll definitely have to consider that. What would you put in their place then, in that case? A lot of Blood and Warlock, yeah. My main classes are Haven and Blood as probably my favorite two, and Rune's up there, but it's kind of been dropped off lately. I haven't gone much on Rune since what, about a week before launch of the last expansion. I just kind of started playing other stuff and got into that. Might actually end off the stream after this game. Damn, that sucks. Devil with third X. Oh, okay, yep. Swapping out Devil with crazed X, so it's a lot easier. Alright, yep. Alright, gear. Running one Devil instead of X. Yep. I disagree. I see Argus keep board clears easily till it gets Argus out. Not all the time. I've played a lot of Argus, and I mean a lot. Like, that's probably the deck I've played the most this expansion. And sure, if you get the perfect hand, you can win. Like, there's no worry if you get a perfect hand, you can win. But Shadow just has so much consistency that most of the time, they will outplay your average hand. That sucks. Two hours, okay. Alright, I'll make you the last game then, Silent Gamer. Fine. I'll have that as the last game and then we'll close things out. That's alright. Did anyone end up posting his deck list? Oh, up there. Yeah, he did. Cool. I'll have to check that out after we finish streaming then, for sure. Swap Bros isn't out for anything, really. Okay. That's good to know. Alright, see you, man. So Silent Gamer, what is your in-game name? Is it the same? Is it different? So then I know who to let in and who not to let in. That would be handy. Oh, alright. Well, that's alright. I'll be on in a couple days. I'll be on, what? My Wednesday or Tuesday? Pretty sure. 2% G's. Yeah, that's not great, is it? Alright then, we'll wrap things up after this game then. Like I originally planned to then. Okay, let's see. That's a pain in the ass, but at least that does just disappear. Gotta get rid of that. I really need to get rid of that. When is the stream starting? 12 PM Australian Eastern Standard, which is approximately 6 or 7 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. Well, since they let me get to turn 6, why not? So, basically, whatever 2 hours ago was for you guys is when I'll be streaming again on... Well, just say 2 days from now, so... No, I won't be streaming tomorrow, I'll be streaming the next day. Let's put it that way. So 48 hours from now... Well, 46 hours from now. Whatever that is. I'm at Europe, yeah. Well, we'll just say 40... Yeah, it should be what? Yeah, 46... Is it 46 hours? Yeah. 46 hours from now. Whatever that is. Is it daily or just Tuesday? It's basically second daily. I have 3 days off a week. One day that's kind of 50. I can bring them up actually on stream if you look at the thingy. Where's my thingy? Whoops, there. Actually, I think I just put it under time. Alright. It should come up on screen because it's actually through. I use it through Twitch normally. I'll use wardrobe. That gives me the heal and the damage.
Try this on for size.
Become part of me.
You look scrumptious.
You gotta see me down.
Offer yourself.
It actually looks like it's gonna work. I think Kali's the only real big threat because of what it can do. Finally, when you just link the time. The problem is, yeah, just the way things are set up. I don't have it actually set up that I can just easily link the time, unfortunately. I can't get Nightbot to work with YouTube. I've had a lot of trouble with that. I can get it to work on Twitch, just not YouTube. And yeah, I should have thought of linking that first. It is a command that anyone can use on Twitch. Yeah. Alright. Alright, foul Tempest, that's fair. Let's see.
Let's defile the battlefield.
Alright, if I can avoid the health, I should be right.
I love the chaos.
And this will actually work out okay if I use these in and after turn.
Judgment for heretics like you.
Alright, what are you going to see happen here? Regular shadow. Pretty much. Alright, so there's actually no advantage to playing anything here. It sucks, but I think this is going to be my best bet.
This prison stone is so beautiful.
I'm powerless for now.
Blood and pain awaken.
Okay, this one's all me. I can't.
Oh, mistake that a few cards look bronze. Wait, was there something that I missed there, or was it just... Oh yeah, because Foul Tempest is a gold. I was tempted to go with the tempo, but I really wanted to set up for that vengeance. So I really wanted him to hit my face. Plus, I have got Alucard, which would be a nice heal next turn. So as long as they aren't playing something crazy, but it does just look like it's a standard Shadow deck. Much higher, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of going for the little bit greedier play. It could have really backfired, but I think it did okay. Not much good for testing out these kind of decks though when someone plays this. We'll just go for the pressure with the soul then. It kind of sucks when someone does do that. It's like, you know, prepping for the tournament where no golds are played and then end up with golds. It's really screw over the deck.
Judgment for heretics like you.
Not unique card, yeah. I don't tend to add people, that's the only problem you're probably going to have. Primarily based because I try and keep the friends list as clear as possible. This is actually really bad and I should have thought this through a little bit more. Like, I really should have thought that through a little bit more. I thought that was 3 damage, but obviously not. Either way. Just at a higher punishment. Yeah, well, I didn't expect them to be playing any more Foul Tempest, but it happened, so. But yeah, it does help to learn the deck, which is good. Yeah, there's no chance at winning this against that.
Oh man, you beat me.
Not when I'm playing a tournament deck that plays no golds and legends due to the restrictions. There's no way of beating Death's Breath without Tempest. Alright. Actually, should have just clicked home, but either way. Alright, we're going to wrap things up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Like I said, you can check the stream timetable. I'll just make that come up again for a minute. Now I gotta remember. I gotta actually type right. And well, I can't post the link now because I've got to do that. Alright, and I'll post the link to the tournament, so if anyone else is interested in joining that tournament, go for it. Like a bronze though. Kind of, I guess, but desperate stuff. You just filter it, so don't. It's easy, it makes it a lot easier if you filter it by just bronze and silvers. So you don't accidentally grab those. That's what I end up doing. Plus, if you join the tournament with a deck like that, you'll probably instantly get flagged by the mods who'll just tell you, they're golds, you can't run those. So in the tournament, it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, so I hope. I suppose I'll catch most of you next time. See ya.